So if there was any equal opportunity, any equality under one state, you ain't having that apartheid shit. You ain't taking nobody's land. So this is where it's gonna go. And this is your opportunity now, because to be anti-Zionist is to be anti-imperialist. The reason why, what we have to emphasize, the reason why the United States backed Israel the way it does is because the U.S. is a European settler state itself. And that the last project, the last European settler state on this planet is Israel. And to the U.S., that's like having a major military base in the heart of Western Asia. They're not going to give that up. They lost Iran. Remember how they lost Iran? Huh? I think it was 1953 or 54. Mossadegh was elected.
BP.
He was elected prime minister. You see, and he had an agenda for socialist development and tolerance of religious differences and all of this stuff. And the Dulles brothers say, man, Musa who? He gonna be Musa dead in a minute. And that's what he did. And who comes in? The Shah. Talking about, he's a descendant of Persian royalty. The Shah Pahlavi. This motherfucker. And he comes in, and he's all westernized. You see? But broiling in that, since that overthrow of Mossadegh, what broke up out of that? The so-called socialist guerrillas, Kalak, Mujahideen Kalak, who wound up being, today, agents of the CIA. But back then they broke off, just like the Ba'ath parties in Syria and in Iraq. They were supposed to be progressive socialists. If you understand the history of Arab nationalism in the Arab world and how Islam became to be the major driving factor, organizing factor in that region, then you see what I'm talking about history. Because when Pahlavi was overthrown, the US CIA, they said, damn, this is 79. They said, damn, it's fucked up. some old dude that got off the plane talking about Khomeini. Well, what is this? Millions of people at the airport. You understand? The military. What? This was a linchpin of U.S. hegemony in the region. Israel and Iran. You see? With the Ba'athist states of Syria and Iraq. Okay? But now a major linchpin, a major source of U.S. military might in the region, all of a sudden got an Ayatollah running shit. So how do you deal with that? Well, he ain't Arab. He ain't Sunni. You know how them Sunnis hate them goddamn Shia?
Oh yeah.
Go back to the book. Ali. Yeah, they killed him, huh? I got it. Yo, bro. King Saul. The motherfucking Persian gonna fuck you up. But what you mean he gonna fuck me? You know how the Persians are. Remember Ali? Astaghfirullah. So I tell you what. I'll make sure nothing happened to you. We down. I got you. We gotta deal with these shit. Cause they look, man, you know all the shit, all the weapons we done gained. They still got them. So what you gonna do for me? He's saying, astaghfirullah. What you gonna do for me, boss? I'll give you better weapons. Train your folks. You can send your boys to school over here. Train your military. I got you. And to this day, the reason, if it wasn't for the Palestinians' Al-Aqsa flood, all of these Arab regimes, the UAE, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, to need all of them. They would have kicked the Palestinians under the bus and broken a normal relationships with Israel, with the European settler state. And then Israel would have been the mightiest military power in the region, and U.S. hegemony could continue. But the Palestinians had a different idea. Yeah, they didn't get that memo. It's just like the Vietnamese, man. The Vietnamese, you know, they all in the tunnels. They say, you know, we can't win this. Who's saying that?
Right.
Man, this the most powerful nation. Man, you ain't seen the videos yet. These people got bombers, man, that fly up so high you can't even see them. How you think we gonna beat them? Man, all I know is, man, I'm gonna take this grenade, I'm gonna take this 150 millimeter bomb, 150 pound bomb apart. I'm gonna take the gunpowder out, the powder out this shit. I'm gonna make me some grenades and a booby trap on some bamboo. I'm gonna go blow one of these crackers up. That's what I'm gonna do. That shit you talking about, I know when he step on this shit, he gonna go as high as that B-52. You understand what I'm saying? And that's one less of them crackers we got to deal with. And sooner or later, they're going to get the message that this is our place, this is our land, and this belongs to us. And y'all got to leave. Y'all got to get out of here, man.
So,
but now you can go back to
see, Dhoruba, you're not letting me see the program.
No. But you can go back as a tourist now.
You're terrible.
But it's true. We kick that ass. But come on back and spend some money with us. You understand what I'm saying? We could take. In fact, we done turned the tunnels of Coochie into a war museum. We could take y'all down into the tunnels and say, this is where Giap's Colonel Van Brang Boom, you understand, organized the attack on Tapson on the 12th of July. And Americans be sitting there talking about, oh, so this is the place.
Right. We'll be down in Gaza and they'll be like, oh, and look, this is where we laid the final trap for the IOF devils. Look at the magnificence.
That's right.
And we'll be all like, yeah.
They're going to be turning that shit into museums.
So let me ask you, Dhoruba. Okay, on behalf of this collective of the 15.
But I didn't get to what I was doing.
One question.
No, you said I'm not telling y'all nothing about myself.
Exactly. So now I gotta give people your bio because you wouldn't do it.
No.
What do you mean no?
It's irrelevant.
Okay, fine. All right. I'm gonna respect your wishes. I'm not gonna do it. I am going to ask this question, sir. This is from the membership because we get that this moment is historic, it's revolutionary, it has the potential for revolutionary something. And we are working on that. But I think we're having like the typical organizational kind of things. So people are wondering about how to deal mostly with like internal contradictions, which can destroy an organization. So people have asked, like, to what degree does individual ego undermine movement work? So it's like, it's great that we have to do all of this work and we understand that we're all in this historic revolutionary moment or whatever, but what does it mean when you have people in your organization who are there with an agenda of their own and they're not on to the agenda or the mission of the organization, and their ego is causing chaos?
Well, you know, this depends on how you your mode of organizing, the way you structure and organize yourself. You know, if you look at different organizations, if you look at let's just say, from which I have some experience, if you look at the organization of the Black Panther Party, the Black Panther Party was unique out of all of the organizations at that time, including the Messianic ones that had discipline and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Was the Black Panther Party was a cadre organization. Okay? Now, a cadre organization implies a certain level of what we call democratic centralism. It's the principle of democratic centralism. What it meant was that the majority of the rank and file was, because they're the ones that had to carry out what we call the mass line, the party line of the party, which was different than the mass line. What we agreed on as an organization, what our strategies was, what our objectives were, we agreed on an organization. The cadre could input into that at the cadre organization level. For instance, if we're sitting like here and we involved in a strike that's supporting, so let's say the people in the projects are in a rent strike, and we're going back and forth helping them out with that rent strike. We're bringing support for it, food or whatever. We hold liberation classes with some of the kids because they ain't going to school on time. We involved in that. So all the cadres, the brothers and sisters that's involved in that strike, we're talking about how we're going to deal with this, because Central Committee feels that we need to escalate this, that, and the other. So now you have this time to input. Well, I think that, from dealing with the folks in my building, I don't think they're ready for that right now. I think what they're ready for is blah, 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 blah. So what do you think? Well, I'm in the building with him. I kind of agree with him, but I think we underestimate. So this is the democracy part. You feel me? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every cadre has a right, has a need to attend political education classes, so we're using the same methodology in coming to a conclusion about something. You understand? We ain't talking about, well, my mama used to beat me with a strap, so I'm opposed to mud holing. Because we had a discipline where we threw a nigga in the mud hole. You understand? Who was on some ill discipline stuff, or who acted out, according to party discipline. You understand? We used to dig a hole full of mud. We call it mud holing. Every time the dude tried to get out, we beat him back into the hole. You see? Until he understood that, that your behavior is not tolerable. Yeah. Now, you're not a cadre organization.
At all.
Not yet.
There has to be clarity on that stuff.
No, but you're not. And what did I say? What did I say? The biggest obstacle that's going to confront you right now, between now and when these kids come back to school in this summer and what's getting ready to happen. Mm-hmm. The biggest thing that they're going to try to do is to encapsulate that energy and that hostility that's being gendered by these Zionists and genocide. They're going to try to make sure that we can't make that connection to the Sudan and the role that the UAE and all of them are playing in the Sudan, and how the Janjaweed got into power. What is the purpose of this war in the Sudan? The purpose of this war in the Sudan is because the Sudan is envisioned as being one of the Abraham Accord states with Israel. And so they have to take all of the fight out of Arab armies, or all of the animosity any Arab army would have towards the state of Israel. That's why the UAE is supplying weapons to the RBF forces, or whatever they call them, motherfuckers. You see? And the U.S. is giving the UAE all of these weapons. So the U.S. is by proxy, trying to tip the scales on the outcome of what's happening in this Sudan. And we as Africans in the diaspora, we have to emphasize the biggest contradiction and the biggest human rights struggle, humanity struggle now, of millions of starving people, of people that's being butchered on damn near an industrial scale, is the Sudan. You see? So how do we make that connection? The connection is simple and easy with Palestine. And how the U.S. is trying to get African nations to back or to support Israel, and they have failed miserably. In fact, Africans is kicking their ass out of Africa. So the AFRICOM struggle that BAP is waging has allies in Burkina Faso, has allies all across Africa. So what do? Right now, here and now, we need to be calling for a united front against fascist, genocide, imperialism. We need to call for this united front. You need to begin to organize and reach out to other organizations. We need to have these Zooms, and then we need to have bigger ones, and then we need to talk about a conference somewhere outside of the borders of this country where we could connect with other movements. I know I'm in connection with young folks, Muslims, non-Muslims in Vienna, in Paris, in Germany, in Italy. And they all talking the same thing that we talking as we speak.
So we need to be talking to each other.
Absolutely. We need to be talking about, because the rise of right-wing fascism in Europe is real.
Dhoruba.
I just want to say this. And right now, at this moment, the EU is getting ready to have its continent-wide parliament and elections. And they're worried about the strong right. And what's the major issues of the right? Migration, the proxy war in the Ukraine and NATO. What the fuck is NATO doing in the Sahel? It's the North Atlantic. Oh,
Why is Argentina lying to
it's not the North Equator. It's not south of the Equator alliance, military alliance. It's the North Atlantic. So what you crackers doing in the Sahel? You see?